Today, the sun is in Aries, and we are here in the spring equinox, and this is the astrological new year. It's snowing. It's snowing where I am. We're having quite the spring snowstorm, and it's just kind of one of those wet, cold days here. And it's funny. I woke up with some thoughts that I wanted to share. And there were all of these things pulling at my attention. And I realized that that's kind of what this time of year feels like. It feels like, it's not winter, but it's not spring. We're not quite finished with some things, but we're needing to start others. And last week I talked about uh, how great the energy was last week to let go. And, really what I was hinting at was that it's a time to let go of our grudges, our emotional grudges against ourselves, against others. And what we're doing is we're clearing a space for this Aries energy to come in, which is what we've got today, even though it's snowing where I am. And so I'm curious if you tried that letting go process at all in the last 5 days or so, and how that really worked for you. One thing that I woke up with is this idea that as we move through life, we go through these different stages. Our 20s are really about exploration and separating from our parental programming. And our 30s are like digging into what we think we're interested in and getting better at it and connecting with other people and being our own person in the world. And as we enter our 40s, we have that thing in our early 40s called the Uranus opposition that is this like breaking free moment where we suddenly kind of split off from the way that I see it is we're splitting off from the things that we've attached our ego to, our sense of self, like this is who I am in the world and this is what I do. And it has to be good and I have to succeed at it. And around 42, we go through what we call the midlife crisis, where we're like, I don't know if that's who I am anymore. I don't know if that's what I want to do anymore. And then so that forms in our 40s, and then we go up to 50, and 50 has the Chiron return, which is this coming to full terms with the things we've never felt were quite right about us, the judgments that we've had, the wounds and the pains that we've carried through the years that have told us, everything would be okay if it weren't for this thing about me. It's really a very personal transit. And when you realize that, say you look at others through the eyes of compassion and understanding, and it's almost like we have this double thing where we don't give that to ourselves. Through the Chiron return, we can start to see ourselves with that same compassion that we would give to somebody else. It's no longer like a double standard where we're holding something against ourselves. And so, like, one of the things that we're walking through in our lives is we're creating a spiritual legacy. We each have a personal puzzle, and we're gathering the pieces. We're like, this piece is missing. Where do I get that piece from? And we are trying to put together this thing, and we're not even sure what it is. And that's because it's sort of bigger than any one thing that we're doing. And so I woke up this morning with this idea of the spiritual legacy that we're creating, and that, when we leave the planet, we're not taking a suitcase with us. We're taking more like a spiritual zip file of our fulfillment and what we've created in this life, right? Um, so here we are with the sun in Aries, and it's this really kind of not quite warm, not quite cold moment. And we're moving into new spaces because we've let go of the stuff that we were like gnawing on and chewing on, and this just didn't go quite right. And this transition is really important because it's a signal to your psychology that this is the time to begin. This is the time you've cleaned out part of your emotional closet, and it's time to step out, or put something new in the closet and step out in a new outfit. Because Aries is all about the self, and it has this willpower that's the same type of energy that you see when there's a dandelion pushing up through the concrete crack. Or I saw this today as I was making my tea. I wanted to show it to you. This is a robin's egg that I got sometime last year. I found on a walk, and this little tiny bird came out of this beautiful little shell. And you see where, oh, I don't want to break it. You see where the crack is there. There. It even looks like a little bird, doesn't it? It's so perfect. So this is something we have, and it's actually, it's astrological, but it's also spiritual. It's in our toolkit, or part of our fabric that we have, this part of us that is willing the next part of our life and the fulfillment that we desire. Because Aries is about, I'm hungry, feed me. I'm thirsty, give me something, you know. And so one thing I would ask you at this moment, it's like this really fragile moment where we're bursting out of the egg with the sun in Aries, is, did you do your letting go work? And if not, if there's anything sticky left, just punch that stuff out of the way. And then start to ask yourself some questions. What excites you? I mean, really, like, just you, yourself, and God, you and the wall and God. What excites you? And, it's about asking yourself. Now, if you're 15, you're probably not thinking about your spiritual legacy. You just want to get out there and figure out what this life is about. But if you're over the age of 40, or nearing 40, or wherever you are in your life, you're starting to have this feeling like, what essential experience am I missing that is part of my spiritual puzzle? What piece am I missing that I need to start completing this beautiful mosaic of myself, this puzzle? And you'll know that, I think, in the Aries season through desire and through this feeling of yearning. What do you yearn for? So what excites you? What do you yearn for? And what is the eggshell that you're bursting out of right now? um, Whenever I do a video, I'd love to hear from you and hear your comments and see. So you can comment and let me know, or you can comment privately and let me know. But at least let yourself know where you are right now, where you are with this very important question of spiritual legacy. How are you feeling? And what do you need next? So happy spring equinox. Enjoy.